Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is time for the new edition of the Weighing Interjection Show, where Josh the Punk Thomson and I, John McCarthy, will talk about certain subjects in the MMA world and what we think should happen or will happen. Let's do it.
Let's go, Dave.
All right, topic number 1. Does Bellator have the best light heavyweight division?
Well, shit, John, we're going to stir the pot right off the bat. Look, I'm not going to say they have the best light heavyweight division because, look, I think fighters in both organizations are extremely good. But let's talk, I think the reason why this came up is because the Corey Anderson versus the Jan Blachowicz situation, where the two of them have fought, they're 1-1 against each other, and everyone talks about Jan's gotten better since they fought. Well, guess what? Corey Anderson has gotten better since they fought also. And so if you want to compare the two things, if they're 1-1, and I've said this before, if Corey utilizes his wrestling and gets this fight to the ground early, I think he wins this fight, and I think he wins, not easily, but I think it's a pretty dominant performance. If Jan can keep it on the feet, I think he's got a good chance of winning. That's why you fight the fight, though. They're 1-1. Let's find out. We're never going to see it, but it's good to talk about.
You just talked about two guys. Let's take a look at the rest of them, because you didn't even talk about the guy that's the best guy in Bellator in Vadim Nemkov. He's the champion right now, so he would be the guy if you're going to put someone against him. There's too many guys in both divisions that are really good. Does it make one better than the other? No, it just makes it that there's a lot of great light heavyweights in both, and that makes it awesome to watch.
Yeah.
3,
2.
I should have known. I should have gone longer.
Oh, jeez.
All right, topic number 2. Is the UFC 269 the strongest card in 2021?
What do you mean in 2021? You mean, is it the strongest card this year? Yeah, you could say 270 is every bit as good, if not better than it. I would say I've heard people say this is the greatest UFC card ever. Bullshit. There's been some fantastic UFC cards, and you can never tell what's the best card until after the fights have taken place, because you can have great lineups and the whole card sucks. You can have lineups that we all look and go, oh, that sucks, and it's a great card. So, look, there's been great, 189 was fantastic. Think about those fights. 205, the first time in Madison Square Garden, fantastic. And I think 270 is fantastic. So, is it the best? It's up there.
Yeah, I like 268. When you pull up 268, you've got a lot of top-level fighters getting after it. I mean, look, the Frankie Edgar and Chito Vera fight, Michael Chandler and Justin Gaethje, Rose Namajunas is a rematch. I mean, anything can happen in the Usman Covington. That's a rematch as well, and the first fight was a barn burner. So when you're going through these fights, I mean, I like that card a little bit more than I do 269, but 270 could also be a damn good card. So there's a lot still going on before the end of the year. But
which is awesome.
This is probably the best UFC card of the year.
All right, and with that, let's get into topic number 3, and we are going to play Matchmaker. You guys are going to pick one fight from Bellator and one fight from the UFC each that you guys really want to see. Take it away.
All right, I'll go first. Let's see. I'll go to UFC first. UFC, the fight that I would really love to see is the one that people have been talking about already a little bit, so it's not like I'm coming up with something fancy. I want to see Henry Cejudo taking on Alexander Volkanovski. I think that is the fight to make. I think it's a great matchup. I think it's fun. It's got drama. It's got a two-time, champion of the UFC plus an Olympic gold medal on one side against a guy that's just a stud on the other. That's the one I'd like to see.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that one, but I'm going to change it up. I'm going to go the other direction with Frankie Edgar and Dominic Cruz. I want to see that fight. I'm an old dog, and they're old dogs, and I think I would love to see the two of them get after it. And it's a nostalgia thing for me. I really like both fighters. I'm really close with Frankie. Frankie's one of my all-time favorite people, and I'd like to see that fight happen. So that, to me, would be the fight. If I was going to do a UFC fight, that'd be the one I'd want to see match up.
For Bellator, that's a tough one because there's a couple of fights I'd really like to see, and I think there's going to be a tournament, so I'm not going to talk about 135s. I'm not going to talk about 145s based upon AJ McKee sitting at the top right now. I'm going to go all the way to 185s, and I think there's a fight that should have been made long ago, and it's a fight I want to see now. But There's a guy named Austin Vanderford that's going to put a wrinkle in that. Maybe he gets a win, maybe he doesn't. But if he doesn't, against Gegard Mousasi, I would love to see Anatoly Tokov fight Gegard Mousasi. I think that's a great matchup.
I'm going to one-up you on that Gegard thing, but I'm going to up you even more than that. I want to see Gegard Mousasi fight the winner of the 205-pound light heavyweight Grand Prix.
You can't do that. That's
yes,
switching
I
weight
can.
classes. That's
no,
wrong.
We had Gegard on here, and he said that he was talking about that the potential of him fighting the winner was pretty high. And if that's going to happen, I want to see him fight the winner of the 205 light heavyweight world Grand Prix. He's been the 205-pound champion before when he was with Strikeforce. He's fought at heavyweight. He's been the champion at 185. Look, we know he can do it. He's getting a little bit older, but I think him fighting either one of those guys would make for a very fun fight because he matches up well against wrestlers. He matches up well against strikers. He's so well-rounded. He's got great submissions. He's got dominant top position. He's one of the most well-rounded fighters in the game. So I think I'd love to see him fight the winner of either of that tournament.
All right.
Next.
All right. And with that, let's get into topic number 4. Is the MMA media becoming too gimmicky?
Oh, there's guys that have gimmicks and stuff, but it's all about what are they putting out? Are they putting out good information? Are they putting out what is important for the fans to understand what's going on in the sport, what's going on with different promotions, all of that? There's some great media people out there that are reporting on the sport. Gimmicky, that's up to each individual's, taste and stuff like that, but I have no problem with what anyone's doing. I like the way, I'm just going to put it, there's John Morgan's a great reporter. Brett Okamoto's a great reporter. And then you got guys like, the Schmo. He's got his little gig. Ariel's got his gig with Helwani. It's all great. As long as they're putting out good information, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I like the Schmo because he asks legit questions. He does a good job. He's fun, entertaining as well. To me, I like Luke Thomas. I like Luke Thomas when he stays on.
Sorry about that. Good point.
When he stays on track with MMA, I like that. When we get into the political stuff, I get a little like, okay, just turn me off. I get enough of that from watching TV now these days, and everyone's talking about it. But when you get into other details of all the other ones, Brett Okamoto is great. He brings out good content. I believe he does just work for the UFC or ESPN or whoever.
He works for ESPN.
He works just strictly for that content. Look, if you have a gimmick, run with it. If it's working, keep doing it, man. Whatever's your deal. I don't care.
Yeah.
All right, and then let's get into the 5th and final topic. Are we in an MMA Superstar transitional phase?
I don't know. We say transitional phase. No, I don't. There's stars coming up all the time, and there's new talent coming up all the time, and there's old talent that's kind of going out at times. That's just the way the fight world works. And you're going to get all of a sudden someone that jumps on the scene and has spectacular performances, and everyone all of a sudden starts to jump on the bandwagon with them, and that's the only person they want to see. But that happens, all the time with the fighting sport. What you're talking about is the individual, kind of like a Conor McGregor that comes and just steals it. You're going to get one of those guys about every 10 years.
Yeah, if you let me start you off, there was Hoist first, then there was Ken a little bit there for a while, then it was Marco Huas, then it went to Tank Abbott, Marco Huas kind of thing, then it went to Frank Shamrock, Tito Ortiz, Chuck Liddell. You kind of had these little busy guys in the middle there somewhere, like no one was a big star, like Pat Miletich was good, but he wasn't a big star. You had other guys, but then when you get into the Conor McGregor, after the Chuck Liddell was like the Conor McGregors, and GSP and BJ Penn were all in that era. Those guys are stars. The next generation right now hasn't quite got there yet. I could see Sean O'Malley being that guy. I could see him being one. Brian Ortega, he's going to have to win a title, but I could see him being one as well. For me, I feel like AJ McKee. He's a fucking star. He's just got to stay on task, man. He stays on task and just keeps destroying people. He could be a star. He's already there, I think. But hey, that pretty much wraps up our Wayne Interjection, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this show. It was a fun little show that we did today, the Matchmaker one, and hopefully you guys enjoyed our games, and make sure you guys hit that subscribe button in our Clips channel. And as well, make sure you follow our normal channel. So we want to thank you so much for listening to us, and John, take us off the air, please.
See you later, guys. Bye.